In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up an external expression pedal to be used as a wah or a whammy pedal with the NUX Trident. Now by default, when you plug in an external expression pedal into the Trident, it is set to volume by default. So if I play a note on my guitar and then use the pedal, I have control over the volume curve. And that's fantastic. But you can go a step further with this and you can actually set this up to be a wah pedal or a whammy pedal if you want to. And it's actually quite simple to do. Let me show you how to do it. One quick note before we get into it. If you're going to plug in an external expression pedal, do make sure that you use a tip ring sleeve cable. If you use a standard instrument cable, this will not work. And I get questions about this all the time, so I just want to make sure I'm making that explicitly clear. What we need to do first is we need to calibrate the expression pedal. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see the screen nice and close. And what that means is we need to calibrate the expression pedal so it will function at its best optimal performance with the Trident. The way we do that is we use the two rotary encoders here, press on both, and you can see we have a few options here like output mode and reset and all that. But the one that we want to concentrate on here is the pedal calibration. So I'm going to tap on that, and as you can see, it's giving you instructions. Set pedal to the minimum and then press the down button. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to move that into the minimal position, and then I'm going to use the bank down button. And now if you zoom back in, it'll say set the expression pedal to its maximum and then set the down pedal. Use the bank down button. So let's zoom back out, and now let's go ahead and set it to its maximum value, and then press the down button again. And you can see right there that the data is saving on the screen. And that's all there is to it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and bring up a wah effect and then assign it to the expression pedal. So what we want to do is we want to go into the signal path here, and we want to use the parameter rotary encoder to select the effects signal block. Now on this preset, it's set to compression. That's not what we want. We want a filter, so we're going to use the toggle switch here to select the filter. And by default, it's already set to Dr. Q, which is not exactly what we want here. That's just a filter. We want to use the wah. So in order to select a different filter here, we just use the select parameter, and there you go. Now you've got a wah, and you've got a couple of different options here. So if we press the amp button to select the model parameter here, I can use the parameter encoder to change between Clyde, Crybaby, and the V847. Now I happen to like the way the Crybaby sounds, so I'm going to stick with that. And what we now need to do is we need to turn it on, and if the expression pedal was set up properly, if I started using it, you would hear a wah effect, but you don't. You hear a volume effect. Why is that? Well, that's because we need to assign the expression pedal to that effect. How do we do that? Go ahead and hit that parameter button again and toggle over to the expression pedal control, which you can see is now highlighted. It says volume. I'm going to select that. And what I'm now going to do is go to the module dialog, and I'm going to set it to the effects parameter or the effects signal block. Now there's only one parameter that's assigned here. So I'll go ahead and just leave it the way it is. You can also change the taper though. So if you want to change the curve of how this works along with that wah effect, you have a whole bunch of different options to work with here. And I happen to like 15A. That sounds really nice and smooth. So I play it. Well, you get the idea. But what you can also do is you can go to the page and you can page up and you can set your minimum and maximum level. And so that's another thing you can do. But that's essentially how you set up the expression pedal to be used as a wah pedal. But now let's look at how to use it as a whammy pedal. To set it up as a whammy pedal, what we need to do is go into the signal path again, and we're going to go back and select that effect signal block. And it's still set to wah. What we're going to do now is use the toggle switch over here to the left on the effects block and set it to pitch. And by default, it's already set to pitch bender, but you have a couple of different options here. you can go to harmony or you can go to pitch bending. Now we want to do pitch bending in this case. So at that point, you can just go ahead and set up anything you want here. So the sensitivity, the level, whether you want to pitch up or down, so you can change that so it'll pitch up. And we can go ahead and exit. If we go back over to that effects control now for the expression pedal and have a look, there isn't anything else you can do about the parameter itself, but you can change the taper, you can change the curve, so you can maybe alter it a little more akin to what you'd like the whammy pedal to do. But now, if we play it, so, you know, smoke them if you got them, but that's kind of how you do it. And at that point, just want to make sure that you save everything. So go ahead and go to the top menu again. And if you want to save, you can press and hold the left rotary encoder and save it. Now, as a bonus, you can set up the expression pedal to affect various parameters on each one of the signal blocks across the signal path. So you're not limited to just a wah or a pitch bend. You can have this affect the reverb level if you want to, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go back into the signal path here. I'm going to go to that effects, that expression pedal block, and as we were on before, go in there, and what I'm going to do now is go to module, and I'm going to use the parameter encoder to go ahead and select reverb. Now if I go from there and I use the cab button to select the parameter that the expression pedal is going to edit, I can set up level or I can set up decay. It's a little more fun to work with level, but I'm going to also go to the curve and I'm going to select a different curve here. And the result sounds something like this. So you might want to try a different curve perhaps. But the point is that the expression pedal can be a very expressive part of how you interface with the Trident, a very creative way that you can interface with the Trident rather, and it just makes the whole experience a lot more fun. So I hope you got something out of this video, and we'll see you in the next video.